Looking to transform your family game nights? At Perfectly Picked Games, we specialize in family games that bring everyone closer. Our games aren't just fun. Kids and teens will learn how to take turns, develop basic strategy skills, and understand the thrill of winning and grace of losing. With our exclusive gift of games, you can give months of gaming excitement to your family. Choose a 3-month or 6-month gift, and we'll deliver hand-picked family games to your doorstep every month. And here's the best part. Right now, you can use the promo code GOLDENMOJO and receive 20% off your selected plan. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Use promo code GOLDENMOJO and save 20% today at Perfectly Picked Games.
I will die on that hill.
I absolutely love Miley Cyrus.
You have failed this.
Right, so I get to say it? Right on.
Sickest night ever. Is this? What are we doing?
No. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Call Guys podcast. I'm Gunner, also known as Chico Noise, and alongside me, as always, my good friend Juan. Recap for 3. And everybody, welcome. We are in the last 2 episodes of year 2. I have this list here in front of me of all of the episodes we've done this year.
Yeah, you do.
I went through and just kind of wrote down, because tonight we're picking our top 3 favorite moments. We're kind of redoing what we did last year. I think I really enjoyed doing this, and I'm sure our listeners enjoyed hearing some of the recap from last year also. But yeah, we talked about it last week, but I'm excited for what we have coming up in year 3. We have some fun stuff that we have planned. And yeah, I think it's going to be a good year for the Call Guys podcast. Colton's got some stuff. I've got some stuff. Logan's got some stuff for us. I'm sure the Emperor's got some stuff for us. So,
Dude is ball busting.
we'll see what happens coming up the next 52 episodes next week. The last episode of year 2. We're going to have some people on. We're going to interview people. We're going to ask them questions. Ask them some
The tough questions, the hard-hitting questions.
The hard hitters.
Yes.
But before we get into our lists for tonight, Colton,
Yes, sir.
what's up? What you been watching? What you been doing? What you been up to?
I have been watching some movies.
A movie.
Mostly oldies but goodies.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm getting caught up on all the Power Ranger movies. Getting caught up in, let's see. Man, I've watched Galaxy Quest recently. I don't know if I said that last week.
I don't think so.
I watched Black Sheep. I've watched a bunch of movies, actually.
Nice.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Yeah. So fun times there. But yeah, man, helped you with the softener. Hope you
Yep.
get that softener up and going.
It's done. Water pressure is great.
Good.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Um.
I could literally knock a hole through your wall and you could tell me how's it going there.
No, it's great. I mean, there's a little leak, but we'll get that fixed.
Oh my gosh, fix it.
And it's not.
Fix it, Felix.
It's not even my leak. It wasn't even a hose I installed.
I don't know that. I wasn't there for the installation part.
Well, there's still red clips on the hose, so I know it's not mine. It's the only one that's wet. Yeah, you weren't there for the installation part. Colton helped me get the softener, delivered the softener, but didn't help install the softener. But that's not his fault. He wasn't going to be here for 3 weeks, and I wasn't waiting 3 weeks.
Pretty much. I don't blame you, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got it up and going. It's actually a pretty easy install.
It wasn't too bad. A couple hours.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. Me and the Emperor did it.
Easy peasy.
In our really busy weekend last weekend, we were so busy. It was stupid.
Yeah, you were busy, man. Tell me about it.
Holly Heroes Comic Con. New water softener installation. Went to a Port Wayne Comets game.
You guys got to see a win.
We did 7-4,
Yeah, it was big.
7-3.
It was big time.
Yeah. And then went golfing Sunday morning,
I
and
heard.
then just lazed about the rest of Sunday. And another busy weekend coming up. I've got to help my grandma with something tomorrow after work, and then I've got my brother-in-law's diaper party Saturday.
Fun,
I'm
fun,
out to.
fun.
I'm gonna be a Michigander for a couple hours. Um, but yeah, what I've been watching,
Yeah, man.
the Masked Singer season 11 started. Watched that first
Nice.
episode. The Rookie season 6 started. We're 3 episodes into that. And then listen to Golden 80s today, this being Thursday, March 7th, and they covered The Outsiders. So what
Yep.
was the first thing I did this evening? I watched The Outsiders.
Nice.
Let me just say, it's a great movie, but it's not a great movie. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
It's one of those that like I remember watching and like, oh, this is amazing. And Francis Ford Coppola, it's his style. It's then you flip it on and you know it's an older movie when the credits roll before the movie starts, and the titles just kind of slide in, and I'm like watching it going, man, a lot of these guys this was like their first one of their first roles, and I'm watching it going, they were not good actors. A lot changed, man. It's the cast is insane. The movie's good. It's just the book. I remember reading the book a long time ago, which is also really good. So if you've never seen The Outsiders, you live under a rock.
Yeah, that casting, if you just go look at the casting
Oh
for
God,
that movie is ridiculous.
Swayze, Estevez, Tom Cruise, um, or I said
Matt Damon, right, right.
Matt Dillon, Matt Dillon, Rob Lowe. Um,
Oh
trying
my.
to think, trying
Ralph
to think.
Macchio.
Ralph Macchio. Yeah, yeah. It's wild. It's a wild cast for an early 80s. I think it was 83 or 85. So don't quote me on that. I'm not really. I didn't look it up.
Quoted.
We're not talking about The Outsiders, but no, it was fun to go back and watch it. And they were talking about it, and I was like, man, I really want to watch this movie. But
Nice.
yeah, so busy watching
Man.
watching some good stuff. Excited for some stuff coming out.
Yeah.
Bring it out.
It's hard to yell with the barrels in your mouth.
If you didn't listen to the United States Paranormal from this week, should have came out on the 6th. There's a very hard hitting question of the pod, or what they call it. Let me ask you this.
this.
So if you want to go listen to that and send Golden Jay an email with your answer to the question, what is the meaning of life, Colton? That's the real question. You should send the
Are
Emperor
you?
an email. No, you don't have to
I need to
answer it.
send the Emperor email.
Yeah, send him an
I sent
email.
an email to the Golden 80s.
You did?
Yeah, they keep calling me out all the time.
Yeah. 80s edition. 80s edition.
No, they wanted an email about Batman and Robin, so I gave them one.
Yes. Frankie in that movie, man. He'll die on that hill.
I'll put him in, that's for sure. Movie is trash.
Chill.
Chill.
Speaking of questions of the
Shit.
pod, I do not have one,
Oh my.
but that's okay. We don't need one. Because we're just gonna get right into it.
I mean, we do have an email. Do we?
Yeah.
I feel like this email needs to be read. It's from a very important listener.
Hit it.
I'm not gonna. I don't want to say anything to disgruntle this listener any more than what this person's already
I'm gonna loan him
disgruntled.
some matches. That's all I need.
Just have the day you deserve. That's all I'm gonna say. But here we go. Hey Colton, I just want to say that I can respect your thoughts on the matter. If you say it's a cartoon, it must just be a cartoon. If you would love to have an actual conversation about it sometime, let me know. Love your brother. Considering arson, Skylar.
Considering arson.
Skylar, the one thing you have to remember is, brother, I have seen a house burn. So the real question is, have you seen it?
Probably never seen a house burn.
Well, better be serious about that then.
Considering arson.
Oh, great. I love it. No, Skylar, man, thanks for the email, brother. I would. Actually, I think that's probably going to be the next time you're on for a certified rotten episode. We're probably going to spend like 20 minutes talking about it because I am a little curious on what the big, bugaboo about that is.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
It's gotta be a fandom thing, right? I mean,
It's gotta be like, well, this isn't Looney Tunes. This is a better story than Looney Tunes. And I mean, that's the only thing I could think of that can legitimately, that or it's just a Japanese thing. And then, here we are.
yeah, true.
So I'm leaning more towards that, honestly, but
you guys can have that conversation over a night of Mario Kart.
hey, man, you know me. I'm about them dubs. Play for keeps.
You Colton raging.
I don't get that excited.
Oh yeah, not at all. We're
just
having fun. We're having fun.
I don't know. I was having fun. I was just letting you guys know that I was having fun. Finding every red shell on every G-dang map.
Red shell, blue shell, red shell, blue shell. 3 red shells in a row, like 6 red shells in a row.
It almost punishes you for being good at that game.
It does.
That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
You gotta switch up the item. Can't always just be random,
Bro, when you get nothing but coins in the front and a random shell and a random banana.
Yeah, imagine being first place and getting like a bullet bill.
Yeah. Why can't I get that? Why can't I get a star?
Well, even
a golden mushroom.
Even if you put the items on like whatever, there's like a setting for like
there's yep.
But it doesn't do anything.
Nope.
It doesn't make sense.
Just makes you more upset.
Yeah. Everybody behind you is getting crazy items and you're still getting bananas and coins. Hey, those bananas help out though. Just gotta be strategic.
We're having fun though. We're having fun.
We're having
fun.
That's
all that matters.
I'm having fun.
All that matters.
How many F-bombs can Colton drop in just 1
hour?
It wasn't
that bad.
It wasn't that
bad.
Emperor, send us an email. How bad was it? Skylar, send us an email. How bad was it? Who else was playing with us? Bree, you don't listen, but let us know.
Just remember, it's been worse.
Oh, how? Yeah, I know. I have video evidence.
Oh
Quotes.
my!
Listen to the Golden Image podcast intro.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that's so true. That is so true. That's a little embarrassing.
It's not. But
that's the thing I hate. I hate about that. Like anything that's like competitive, it brings just almost instantly the worst out of me because I just don't want to lose.
I know.
I can't stand
hilarious.
it. I know. Everyone finds it funny. I know. And I know I set myself up a lot. I give them easy targets, but
you're a big target on there. Easier to hit red shells with in Mario Kart.
My gosh, I just don't understand it. I just don't.
Oh my.
I hate that I'm wired that way.
Hot wired. Flip a switch.
Yeah, bro. I don't think you got the switch I got.
I don't. I definitely don't. I can get mad, but not cold mad.
Whoa, bro! I never broke a controller. Okay.
Oh, I've done that a couple times.
I feel like we're just trading off terrible things.
Yeah. I've broken things, controllers, faces. No.
I choose violence with words.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready?
Yes, brother, I am ready for this review.
Recap year 2. Top 3 favorite moments. And I'm gonna start it out. Let me start it out.
Okay. Yeah, man. I was getting ready to ask.
Yeah, I'm gonna start it out.
All right, brother. What's your number 3?
My number 3 was a 2 guest episode, episode 84 during spooky season. It was This Is Halloween with ISOCAM and Just Logan. Future Ghost, Just Logan. And this was our second time having Cam on, and obviously we've had Logan on multiple times in the past, but just getting the two of them together and knowing that they both love horror, love spooky,
Oh, yeah.
and being able to talk movie monsters with them. It was just fun. And I think they both had a good time. And, it's been a long time since we've heard from Cam, but, I'm just happy we got him on this year. And, he was one of our most faithful listeners at the time, and, sent us so many emails, and just having him on and talking about something that we know he loves, especially if you go back and watch that on YouTube, man, his background is just, serial killers and
Oh, yeah.
masks and all that stuff. So, yeah. So my number 3 is going to be a little segment from that episode with Logan and ISO.
Nice.
Yeah. I love it. Here it is.
So for my number 1, I went a little basic. I couldn't I could not put him. It's Ghostface from Scream.
I couldn't tell.
The series started out amazing, then it kind of, and then the remakes. I think every single remake has been
Great.
top tier,
Oh,
especially with Jenna Ortega. Don't get me started.
I mean, I really like his appearances in a Scary Movie.
Oh, that was iconic.
Can you find me?
He wasn't. He was. I don't even know if ISO was kicking around when those trailers hit. But I was still living in Atwood, Indiana when that first one come around, because I saw. I wasn't supposed to be watching. It was at the Warsaw Drive-In, and at the Warsaw Drive-In, you'd have a movie you're watching, but you could see a movie behind you. And my parents took us to something. I might have been Hercules or something. I can't remember what it was, but I was not watching what we were supposed to be watching. I was just looking out the back window watching Scary Movie with no audio.
Nice.
Yeah. But so good.
I do got a little challenge for you guys.
Ruh-roh.
I want to hear you guys say in character, what's your favorite scary movie?
Like, you want us to ask the line?
Yeah. What's your favorite scary movie? Nah, that was bad. I was going to do Ghostface for the intro for this, actually, and I couldn't do the voice, so I decided Jigsaw was better.
Hello, Sydney. What's your favorite movie?
That's all I got.
I can't do nothing.
Sure, I've tried to perfect mine over the years.
Let's hear it.
What's your favorite scary movie?
That's actually pretty decent.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
Billy Loomis in that, man. Matthew Lillard in that movie killed it in the first one.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
time I'm in the kitchen, and you could ask Kayla this, I'm standing there, I'm cooking, and I've got my knife in my hand. I always give the old.
Got to.
Yeah. Oh, that's good stuff. Matthew Lillard's going to be in Five Nights at Freddy's when I watch tonight. So
Nice.
I got to watch it on my off days because, I work Fridays.
love Scream, man. So good.
Yeah.
What's
for
your
sure.
favorite one, Isa? Who's your favorite Ghostface? There's been a lot of them.
My favorite movie would probably be the first one. My favorite Ghostface would probably be Jill. Is that her name? Yeah. Jill. I also like Jack Quaid. I don't remember what his name was in the movies, but I'm just a Jack Quaid guy, so he wasn't that good in the movie. But I mean, it's Jack Quaid.
Jack
Nice.
Quaid. Nice.
Okay, very nice.
Good number 1. Colton?
Obviously, I don't know how this wasn't even mentioned in any honorable mentions,
Here we go.
but that's okay. This 1993 classic, voiced by Ken Page. We all grew up watching this movie, I'm sure. The Nightmare Before Christmas. Oogie Boogie.
Boogie Boogie.
Man, I watched that. I watched that movie one time as a little kid, and I never want to watch that movie again because that character scared me to death.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff though. Cause I'm the Oogie Boogie man. Oh,
Exactly.
that's good stuff.
Now I love watching it. It's great.
My
'Cause
daughter
I'm
was
big.
asking to watch it today. She's had a coloring book all throughout Halloween, and she was like, "Can we watch that this soon?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, absolutely."
My mom's the biggest fan of The Nightmare Before Christmas.
It's a great movie. Great movie.
At
Elfman.
Scarefest, there's a whole group of movie accurate Oogie Boogie and those little kids. There's like a whole group of them walking around. That was the dope costumes.
That's an insane cast for a movie too. Because
Oh,
even
yeah.
if you just look at Lock, Jock, and Barrel, like their voice actors are like iconic. Well, I mean, fuck, one of them was Pee Wee Herman.
That was Locke.
Yeah, and then what's her face? Myra from Schitt's Creek was one of them. Like it just that's good stuff. 'Cause I'm the Oogie
Right.
Boogie man.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, Oogie Boogie.
Colton,
I
your list has blown my mind.
I didn't name drop it because it's a Christmas movie, but it's whatever.
It is not a
It's fine,
Christmas
it's fine,
movie.
it's
You
fine.
take it back. You take
That's
that
fine.
back right
I'll
now.
I'll die on that hill, sir.
Oh, I'm gonna put you in it then. Let's go.
Let's
How
well,
do you think that movie is a Christmas movie?
let's break it. You got to break it down in that
Okay,
movie.
well, how does it
How much
start?
it starts time wise. Break it down to how much time is spent on Halloween and how much time is spent on Christmas. Halloween isn't even 3 minutes of that movie. Not even 3 minutes. They literally walk into town as Halloween counts down and Halloween's done. The rest is upbuild to Christmas. They spend more time on Christmas Day and they're like, oh, I guess we whiffed Christmas. So back to Halloween. They're like, yeah, it's only 237 days until then. So those first few minutes of Halloween is all you get Halloween wise. Just because they're in a town about Halloween doesn't make it a Halloween movie.
It
It
the
starts
Die
out
Hard question.
Halloween themed,
It
then
is
it goes to Christmas, and then it ends in Halloween.
No, it ends with them being like, back to Halloween? Like, yeah, back to Halloween. And they don't even get to see it. Listen, you see more other holidays on the trees than you do
No.
Halloween in that movie.
Bowl.
So
Bull butter.
I'm just saying, it's a movie about Halloween people appropriating Christmas culture.
You know
It's a
what?
Christmas movie.
You know what, Logan? I say this to everybody that comes on here. Everybody's allowed to have the wrong opinion,
That's fair.
and I appreciate that.
That's fair.
We'll just do the Die Hard question part 2.
It's just me and Logan yelling about A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Listen, I won't fight with you guys about the Die Hard question because you guys put Gremlins as a Christmas movie like it should be.
That's right.
That's
That's
all I
right.
needed from that. You guys said Gremlins, and I was like, don't do me dirty here.
Cam, have you
I'll
ever
do
seen
it.
Gremlins?
No, I think I've seen Ghoulies.
What?
I'm a
What's
Ghoulies guy.
wrong with you? They're not even comparable.
No.
Ghoulies is like the Porkies of horror movies.
Man, that was a great. That was fun. I really enjoyed getting those two together, learning more about Cam and his real love and enthusiasm for slashers.
Slashers.
Yeah, never understand it. I've never cared to understand it.
Like I said,
I like my Hubie Halloween, and I like my Nightmare Before Christmas.
get him some Hocus Pocus.
Yes.
Halloween Town. No, I enjoyed having both of them on, especially together. And yeah, I'm nothing wrong with having a couple of guys coming on that really know the situation and the subject.
Oh
And
yeah.
it was great episode. All right, Cole, number 3.
Ooh. All right. My number 3 is probably, in my opinion, one of the best works that this movie conglomerate franchise studio made this last 2 years, maybe. At least the last year. You can argue a couple things, but it's at least a top 3 in my opinion
Oh yeah.
that they've made. And episode 90, that is Loki season 2. Going back and just watching that is, man, so good. I love everybody that they added to it. I love how they end the story with Loki. Um, I just had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing that episode because I felt like it was such a relief to have something good from the MCU.
100%.
And it was closing the book on a fan favorite character. And they just did such a good job with it. And, you know, so here's that clip from episode 90. Yeah, I
And
felt like this season it started out interesting and then it got dull, and then what really saved it was obviously the last episode in the lead up to that last episode. I felt like there were nice little things that happened throughout without the middle of the season that were nice. Like when He Who Remains variant is trying to help fix the TVA, and he mutters under his breath, he goes, "It's time to be brave." And I was like, okay, yes, like I've got this guy. I love him. I think it's great character, and he takes one step out and just gets shredded. And I was
disintegrates.
like, and I literally like I was wide eyed, and I was like, what just happened?
Yeah.
And and that obviously spurs the the reaction for what Loki has to do at the end, is kind of having to go through this whole thing. Um, but I thought for the most part, it was a good season. But I feel like it's mostly because of the last two episodes were so good,
Yes.
so good. And I mean, just talk about a big old Christmas bow on this to end this season and probably wrap up this character altogether. Um, just phenomenally well done. Um, there's some other little things that I learned about watching some other videos I'm excited to talk about too. So, um,
Nice.
as a season though, as a whole, I thought it started out okay, kept me interested, and then there was about 2 episodes, 2.5 episodes of a lull, in my opinion, because it wasn't really about Loki. It was about this whole Miss Minutes and Renslayer, and and the problem with that to me is that it just ended. Like there was no,
Yeah.
it just stopped. I was like, okay, well, at least bring him back in the end, but they didn't. So I just felt like that storyline kind of just hurts the season as a whole. But I mean, overall, I've recommended Loki season 2 to everyone I've talked to. So, what about you, brother?
You mentioned it, and you had 2 or 3 episodes there right in the middle where you actually have like a story of Ravonna and Miss Minutes, and all through season 1, Miss Minutes is an important character. Like she is somebody that's important that you need to, like, she's there for a reason. She pretty much is the computer, right? She's
Yeah,
Jarvis. She's that computer-esque character that is in pretty much every electronically driven Marvel movie, and she just isn't important. It's weird to me that
they gave her a
character.
love story,
Yeah,
and I was like, what?
yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. They almost should have just left her out of the whole season. It didn't. There was one callback in the second to last episode where, or maybe even the last episode, where Loki walks in the room and goes, "We need this and this and this," and that was it. That was the last you saw her.
Oh yeah.
So, initial thoughts after watching 6 is pretty much the same as you. The last 2 episodes really saved the show. I had moments where I was just like, I could care less to watch the rest of the show, but I'm happy I powered through. Um, don't know if I would put it where I would put it on my list, but I mean, it was good. It was fun. Obviously, time travel. Obviously, all the things that he did to fix things, which to me
Oh
was just
man.
super, super interesting.
Oh
Um,
man.
the way that he was able to overcome his time slipping and just kind of he learned it a little quick. I think it just kind of came to him after a crisis, but I think that was a good like uplifting moment for the show.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I felt like not to jump in on you, but I felt like that was a turning point for me in the show when that's what it took Loki. That's what had to happen for Loki to get his time slipping under control.
I think that's a really good episode. The thing with Loki to me, especially season 2, is going back and watching Endgame and seeing that moment where he grabs the Tesseract and is back in, you know, to what we see in Loki season 1, and we're like, really, they're gonna keep Loki going, and then they just killed it with season 1, and then we're like, okay, that was really good, and then they bring that back season 2, and it's like that was really good, and they ended it so well.
Yep.
And I think you're right. I think it just needs to be. I love Tom Hiddleston. I love that character, but it's time.
I agree.
But it was
100%, brother.
So yeah, great episode, great show.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If you haven't seen it, definitely go watch it. Definitely go watch it.
You better go watch it.
Gunner, brother, you're number 2. Does it make you cry?
I mean, kind of.
Oh,
This was
let's
kind
hear
of
it.
this was one of those episodes that was a little bit more on the touchy feely side. I mean, it was kind of a more sad episode. Not really sad, but the subject matter of us talking about being dads
A
really.
lot more serious.
There you go. Serious. Yeah. I like that word more. It wasn't sad. It was serious. So yeah, episode 88 was the dad cast where we had Jake the Snake Plissken on, and we just talked about being dads. And it
Yeah,
was
man.
from perspectives of a dad, somebody who's been a dad longer than both of us, and then you in the middle and me on the end. And just getting to understand what it is like to be a dad at different moments and different periods of time. So here's a clip from that episode of us talking about one of the best things that's ever happened in our lives.
What would you want to tell your son, your daughter? What would you want to say to them if they were listening to this? This is going to be archived, and they are just on that verge of going off to leave your house to start their job, start their career, or go to college, or move out, that kind of a thing. What would you want to tell them? What would you hope that they were like? What kind of wisdom would you want to instill upon them? I'd just be curious to know what you would hope for them as they venture out into the world and start their own life.
Something that my dad always has told me, and it's been the way that he's lived his life and the way that I've lived my life ever since, and that is no matter how bad it is or how bad it feels or how much it's going to affect you in a negative way, you'll always make it through that moment, whatever happens, whether it's financial hardship or the death in the family or anything like that. There's always the next day. There's always you're gonna make it through, and I've lived my life that way my whole life because he's always said it, and I mean, and it feels so true, and I feel like especially if she's going, to get married or moving off to college or doing something like that, that's gonna be, listen, bad things are gonna happen. That's just life, and there's always a better thing coming. So
It's good, man. That's good. If I don't teach my children that they need to live their life more than a quarter mile at a time, then I might have failed as a father.
family.
All right. I walked into that one. Now, what's
Yeah,
your
you
serious?
did.
What's your
Yeah,
serious
you
answer,
did.
Paul?
Yeah, you did. Oh, come on.
Well, Hunter already gave me the real answer, so I need you to give me a real answer too.
Oh no, my
Okay?
real answer was actually you can live your life quarter mile at a time.
Yeah. Okay.
Just don't go out to the desert to race.
Oh, come
Go
on.
ahead, Colton.
Oh gosh. I feel like a little bit piggybacking on what Gunner had to say, but if they don't know how to love
what that looks like, what that feels like, what that shows. I think I would have failed as a father in that department. I think that's a huge thing to know how to do, not only to know how to give it, but also how to receive it. And love is a very, very complex emotion. Very, very complex. Um, it love will make you do stupid things. And I feel like that's especially in my job as a father is to help them learn that emotion. And if they're not and I think that and I'm a person of doing, monkey see, monkey do. So if my actions aren't a positive a positive mirror of love, then how can I expect them to show that love to me and to others? So that's my biggest thing is them understanding what love looks like, what it feels like, what it's like to give that love and what it's like to receive that love. And it's one of the most important things that I can do as a father is to teach them what love is and what it
Love
looks like.
love always seems like the one that you can use the most improperly also, especially when you're younger. I feel like it's the one that you say or you feel that you love somebody, but it's also like, you're younger, it doesn't really mean anything. And then you finally find that one person or your family, and it's like, that's how you know what really it really is.
What real love is. And I feel like that's my job as a father is to teach them and to show them what real love is and looks like. Because I think that their idea of love will come from how they see it being played through the eyes of me and my wife. So I think that's a very important role. I think it's an important role for both of you. Anybody who's listened to this, anybody who's got kids, like love can be used for good and for bad. And I think a lot of the times it gets misused a lot of the times because they don't know where that love's coming from or know what to do with that love. So
What is love?
Okay. Well, I appreciate you both sharing that. I think it's something that I kind of wrestle with a little bit, and just knowing like I think having a boy and a girl too kind of changes like what you want to kind of what your hopes might be for them that they would know. It just does like what I hope Aurora knows and how she looks for love, like you're talking about, Colton. Like how does she know what to look for in if she's going to be looking for a spouse, and what qualities that person should possess that would be respectable for her. And so having her have a sense of independence and being able to um, handle whatever life is going to throw at her, and know like you said, Gunnar, that it's not going to be the biggest, like what your dad says, is not going to be the biggest thing. Like you're going to be able to get through it, and this too shall pass. And you will be able to handle this because God's not going to give you anything bigger than what you're ready for at this moment. And you are ready for right now, and whatever challenge it is, you can face it, and nothing is too big for you. And so that's probably what I would say I would hope for her and for Xander, just to be a man that somebody can look up to and look for some strength. And I think it comes back a little bit, and I don't know, Colton, maybe how you would view Josie, you could view her because of your mom. Like I view Xander through the eyes of like my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard Jordan Peterson say one time that you should raise your son to be the strongest man at your funeral. And that was that like the son should be the strongest man at his father's funeral. And that has like stuck with me. And that's just like personal because
you've
at my
experienced it.
like yeah, like you don't know that until you're there. And
Correct.
and I just felt like I was able to be that person for my mom, for Jordan, for everybody else. And I want that for Xander at my funeral. And so that's kind of a different viewpoint for him. And so I just want him to know that he can be strong and he can be courageous and he can handle whatever life's going to give him. So I was just curious from what you guys, your perspectives and what you'd want out of your son, out of your daughter. It's always an interesting grounding statement too, to think about too, as we get caught up in life and what activity we're going to go to next, or whose birthday party we're going to go to next, or whose Christmas or Thanksgiving are we going to, like, all these things that come up that it's like, they're important because we're going to spend time with our families, but we also have a very important job of raising our sons and our daughters to be individuals that can contribute to our society and that can be individuals that we're proud of one day. Because I know I'm proud of my kids, and I know you guys are proud of your kids too. And so you can directly influence that. So Gunner and Colton, I'll just between the two of you and me here and the listeners, if you have kids as well, you are making an impact, and your kids will watch you every second of every day. So how you treat your wife, how you treat their brother, their sister, all the interactions, the things that you're passionate about, they are catching on to that, and they will see that. And it's just so important to set the example for them. And even in your frustration and how you handle your darkest days, they are watching you. So it's very important, and continue to be there, because we're all tired and we all don't want to do it, and we all wish we had days off. We do, but you don't.
Man, deep stuff there, man. I mean, it's still true to this day that the thing that I'm still trying to get most out of for my children is to teach them what love looks like. And it's such an easy thing to take for granted. And it's one of the hardest things you have to work at, because it is so hard to give that kind of love to everybody, especially when you don't want to give that kind of love to anybody. So, yeah, like I said, it's one of the most serious episodes we probably have ever done.
It was. And that question where you talked about love, teaching them love, and I think that was when Jake had asked us, what advice would you give your kids? And that was the thing is, and I think my answer to that was along the lines of, there's always something better that's going to come out of something bad, pretty much. So you'll make it through no matter how bad the situation is. So
merit to that.
Like you said, it definitely a little bit more serious side, but still a great episode.
Oh yeah.
All right, you're number 2. Make you cry?
Oh Lord, it makes me cry laughter. Just so much laughter. My number 2 is actually a compilation of 3 episodes. For those who have started listening, or day one listeners, we have come up with this certified rotten segment, and this series has been so fun. I have enjoyed it. I have enjoyed it. I have enjoyed it so much. We started out with episode 79 with King Kong in the poorly aged final battle with Kong in the New Yorkers.
Yep.
And then we have 89 Cannonball Run, a movie that I loved as a child, absolutely adored. And I watched it again, and I don't know why the heck I liked it so much. And then 99, the ever controversy that is Batman and Robin. My oh my, talk about just mailing it in. I don't want to talk
about it.
I mean,
I don't want to talk about it.
So chill. So yeah, I think my favorite though was doing Cannonball Run, because that's probably where I had the most biggest shock of, I don't remember this movie being this bad.
Yeah.
So here's a clip from episode 89, Cannonball Run.
All right. Well, are you guys ready
Absolutely.
Certified Rotten Part
Oh.
2. I mean, I'm assuming both of you listened to Part 1. Obviously, we
Yeah.
did.
Oh, yeah.
We did Kong.
Yeah, I
the
emailed you on
70.
that, yeah.
Yes,
Did
you
you?
did.
Yeah, you did. You did, Frankie. Did you guys watch it?
I've seen it so many times.
Well,
I didn't need to rewatch
76.
it.
76 King Kong was.
I seen it at the
uh,
drive-in, man, in Warsaw. That's how
Yeah.
old I am.
I did see a movie. I did see a movie at the Warsaw Drive-In.
You remember what it was?
Three Ninjas.
Oh, jeez.
I went to the Warsaw Drive-In a lot. I don't ever remember watching a movie.
Oh, Fat Billy Ray approved.
I think you're here, Gunner.
So, yeah. Hey, wait a second.
We know where Gunner was conceived, I guess.
Back of a pickup truck
In a lawn chair.
while watching the Cannonball Run.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought.
3.
3.
2.
Oh god.
Okay.
Okay,
So let's get
serious.
serious. Let's get
It was
serious.
Okay,
Because
let's talk.
this is Certified Rotten, the 80s. Obviously, we've got the Golden 80s podcast because this is an 80s movie. It was released June 19th, 1981, directed by Hal Needham. Had a budget of 17 million, box office 11,
Oops.
and then
Wow.
it's grossed 72 over its lifetime as a movie. So
So that's how it got a sequel.
most movies budgets anymore are more than what it's grossed in its entire lifetime as a movie. So yeah, it's starring Burt Reynolds, Dom DeLuise, Roger Moore, Farrah Fawcett, Jackie Chan, Mel Tillis, Terry Bradshaw. You can keep going because it's insane, this list of
I
actors
love
and
this.
actresses
I
and
love
randoms.
this. Love this cast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was the best part of the whole movie.
Oh, well, for sure. You just seeing the faces. Like you look at Terry Bradshaw and you go, "Is that Terry Bradshaw?" And you gotta look it up on your phone.
Different.
Yeah, he kind of doesn't. But yeah, this movie is about a race across the country. It's from was it
Virginia, I
Virginia,
believe is where they
to
start.
Virginia
LA.
to California. Over 3,000 miles. There's multiple teams doing what they call the Cannonball Run, and so you follow literally just about every team throughout this whole movie, and you just watch their situations as they go. So
The shenanigans ensue as soon as the race, even
yeah,
before the race
even
begins.
even before. This does fall under our Certified Rotten.
Oh, does it?
Yes, it has a 29% on Rotten Tomatoes. It has a 6.2 out of 10 on IMDb, which I was kind of surprised about. But yes, according to the audience scores on Rotten Tomatoes, this movie is worse than Kong. So, and
Agreed.
yes, so we might all agree with that.
I don't know about that. I'm here for that one.
Yeah, so let's talk cast because there's, like I said, there's a lot of people, and I was talking to the Emperor I think yesterday, and we just kind of were listing some of the people off. I know you listed a couple of them. I didn't even have on my list. The main
Mel
one,
Tillis and
yeah,
Dean
Mel
Martin,
Tillis.
I think were a couple of them you didn't have on your list.
Yep.
Yeah. Dino and Sammy Davis.
Sammy Davis Jr. And of course, I don't know if you mentioned it. I can't remember. Did you mention Jackie Chan?
Yes, I did. Actually, fun fact on Jackie Chan, he does play himself in this movie, and it's his first U.S. film. So first film he ever did, and he literally speaks all Japanese or Chinese throughout the entire.
Yes, he does.
So,
yes, he does.
And he doesn't have subtitles half the time either.
No, I think there's only subtitles twice in the whole movie for him.
Yeah. Those two guys, hilarious.
Those two guys in that car with those red night vision goggles on.
No headlights. Spinning 360s, trying to find their right route. Yeah.
Kept yelling at the computer for it being wrong.
Jackie Chan watching porn.
Yeah, I was gonna say he pops in that VHS.
Yeah, there were this movie had some funny moments, but the whole time I just kind of felt dumbfounded because I couldn't follow it. Like I just couldn't follow any of this movie.
It was
at all, so.
It kind of, you know what it kind of reminded me of? It kind of reminds me of a Napoleon Dynamite type movie. No plot. It's really stupid, but there are just some hilarious moments that happen that really make this movie the movie.
Yeah.
And it's hard to follow along because you don't know where the heck they're at 90% of the time until they get pulled over and they're talking to a cop of a state
I should
that
look
they
up how
broke a
much.
law in.
Should look up how much time Burt Reynolds actually had on screen, being literally the main character, right? Like he was the main
Oh,
character of
yeah.
this movie, and he probably had just as much screen time as.
Sammy Davis.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go initial thoughts. You guys watch this. I know obviously the Emperor and Brandon have probably watched this before. I'd never seen this movie before. Colton, you said you did watch it when you were younger.
I used to own it.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna come out of the gates first on this one. I don't remember this movie being this bad because I've watched it. I can't tell you how many times I've watched it because um I love Sammy Davis Jr. and Dean Martin. You know, I'm a Rat Pack guy, so when those two teamed up, I think it was just fantastic. Maybe it was just I'm seeing it with more mature eyes, but oh my gosh, it is so terrible. It's such a bad movie. And I mean, and I've rave about the cast. The cast is phenomenal. I mean, you wouldn't think a movie with all these people in it would be terrible, but let me tell you, they nailed it.
Yeah, they nailed the coffin on that one. Yeah.
So that's what you know. I'm glad I can't find that movie anymore, so my son doesn't have to watch it.
Oh, you can watch it all 11 parts on YouTube.
Oh man.
What do you guys got? Initial thoughts?
Well, okay. So my initial thoughts is I'm gonna let you in on this, Frankie, and then I'll let you go next. But my initial thoughts was I first remember watching, I believe, watching this movie on the original disc players that you could get, and it was a cartridge, and it was. It was a good sized cartridge, like maybe an album, like a vinyl sized cartridge. And he slid this thing in and he had a lever and he slammed it down and he pulled the casing back out and it was dual sided. And if I remember right, that's where I watched this original movie. And that's also where I seen Star Wars for the first time, was on one of these machines. And Best Little Whorehouse in Texas was the first I saw. But if you go back to original disc machines, you can find these on the internet. Major vintage, but I had forgotten how discombobulated this movie was. I mean, I remember Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise and him. But Farrah Fawcett, yeah. Oh my God. I remember loving Farrah Fawcett. I forgot how smoking hot she was. Oh my God. I mean, the
is
hair,
prime
the
Farrah.
face.
This is prime Farrah.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, discombobulated. It was like you never got like something. It never finished with this scene before it went to the next scene, and it was just like,
no, it was.
Oh my God! And of course, the rocker chick watched it with me because we were watching it on YouTube, and she looked at me and. I mean, if daggers could kill, I'd be
you.
Yeah. With every fiber of her being, she hated me for making her watch that movie. But you talk about the Brat Pack. You know who one of my favorite characters, and he was only in there for a little bit. Peter Fonda was in it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
As a biker,
Yep.
and he was and Easy Rider is one of the main characters in that with Jack Nicholson and what's his name, Brandon? Damn, you know him. I mean, stupid. I got it. I got it. Well, he was the bad guy in Speed. What was
Dennis
Hopper? Dennis Hopper. Yeah.
Dennis Hopper.
Hopper.
Yep.
Sorry. Jamie Farr was in it. We talked about MASH in our last episode that we did. Just so many great people in this, and you get so much of them. And if you watch the bloopers and do some research, the Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., Burt Reynolds, their reaction was so off script. A lot of the shit that they did in this movie was just so.
Oh yeah, you see it in that last scene even.
Oh yeah,
the last scene you see it.
Oh yeah,
where he comes out and he's like, That's all right. I'll just be Captain USA.
USA.
And then they all just start dying laughing because yeah.
Absolutely. So, I mean, it has some great moments in it. You forget the genius of Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise together until you go back and kind of watch that. But the idea of the storyline, just the idea is there, but damn, they just did a horrible job kind of putting it together.
Still one of my favorite moments from that movie is when the doc's outside the van and he's trying to barter with him on how much he's going to get paid.
It's just a stupid scene, man.
Oh, it's so funny though. So funny.
So many stupid scenes.
The fact that like the Emperor still has lines that he quotes from it, even from watching it back in the day. It's crazy how like that movie being a cult classic, as we called it,
Yeah.
is one of those that should be so forgettable, but everybody loves and remembers.
Yes. I mean, another good cast. If you really think about it, another good cast, underrated class of the 80s. Yep. I mean,
for sure.
Gunner, your number one, brother.
My number one also makes me cry thinking about it. And it's one of these things that'll stick in my head for probably a big portion of my life.
Oh my.
And now, so a little precursor on this, and if you listen throughout all of year 2 or even all of the Call Guys, episode 62 was our Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 episode, which we ended up titling the tribute episode.
The tribute.
Because it was a tribute to the episode that we had recorded on Guardians of the Galaxy, and then my computer died, and I lost said episode.
Oh man, it was such a good episode too.
I don't think people understand how tough it is to re-record something you've already talked about, and like try to preface what you're saying with something you've already said, and it actually turned out to be a good episode, but at the same time, it's like the first one had to have been better, and I wish we still had it so I knew if it was better.
You and me both, brother.
But yeah, the death of 2 computers in less than, oh gosh, I don't know, a month. And,
had to be a month.
Yeah, and yeah, it was a tough time in my life. I ended up using Sarah's old laptop and making everything work. But so yeah, here's a clip from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, episode 62, the tribute episode with my dead computer. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Call Guys podcast. I'm Gunner, also known as Chico Noise, 3-time podcast host. Alongside me, as always, my good friend Colton Keel, or as I like to call him, Juan Keel 43. Colton, listeners,
what up?
First things first. This episode is going to be called Call Guys of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Wow, it'll forever be the episode of the lost episode.
Yes, this is the lost episode because
this is just a tribute, okay?
Yeah, and we don't know what happened. This is not the greatest episode in the world.
This is a tribute to the greatest episode in the world.
I will admit that. So, if you follow us on social media, if you've been following us on social media, you saw a post this last Monday that my computer died, and it died. It just is gone. I had an iMac I've had for a couple of years, and I bought it refurbished. Loved the computer. It ran great. It was amazing. While I was finishing up the edit, I didn't back it up, and it was running slow, so I restarted the computer, and it never restarted. So I want to thank the lab for trying. I tried for hours upon hours to get the files off the hard drive, and no luck. The lab had no luck. But they do really good work at the lab. So if you're in the area around Warsaw and you need to get something repaired, I do highly recommend the lab. Lyle's a really great guy. They do really good work. They're always busy, so phone cracked. something broke, you need it fixed, the lab's the way to go. Unfortunately, they weren't able to help me in my situation, but I ordered a new computer. It's not here yet. So I'm using my wife's laptop, her MacBook Air, to do this episode. Luckily, it's all kind of just compatible. It all works. So, but yes,
Thank you, Sarah.
Yes, thank you, Sarah. Our episode is officially gone. So this is a re-record of our Guardians talk. So if it doesn't seem as natural as normal, that's why, because we're thinking about what we said, but we already talked in our pre-production meeting that we weren't going to do that. So we're going to try not to.
We're going to
make it
try
as
not
natural
to.
as possible. So yeah, hopefully the new computer gets here soon, and we're good to go. So I apologize we didn't have an episode last week. 61 weeks of us not missing a single week, and
It's just not like us. It's okay though. It's okay though. We're not like the other ones. Okay, we are not like the other ones.
That's true. We record week to week. We don't record multiple episodes at one time. We like to.
We're not weak.
Stay
We're not
current.
weak. Yes, we are.
We are not weak. We are week to week. Week. Whoa. But yeah, so welcome back to the call, guys, and I'm glad you came back. If you're listening, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email. We have a couple that we're going to read off tonight that we had that missed a week because of the episode loss, but we'll get back to those. And yeah, let us know what you're up to. Let us know what you've been watching. Let us know a little bit of everything, because I feel like I missed a week with everybody. So
this is just a tribute. You've got to believe us. It's almost like it's almost like there was a song that was perfectly written for this episode for us.
Yep. Thank you, Jack Black and Kyle Gass and Tenacious D. And
oh man,
it was just a sad day, man.
It was, because I couldn't remember some of the stuff I said.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing too, is, we had I had notes. I don't know if you had notes for that, but I had notes, but at the same time, we have so much talk between my bullet points and what I said wasn't what I said in the first recording. But
oh yeah,
iMac's still sitting over there in pieces.
As it should be.
Yeah. All right, Colton, your favorite moment from year 2.
It's not a big surprise to come to some people that are longtime listeners of this show, but episode 63, actually.
Yeah.
We took a journey to Chicago to see one of the greatest 3-man bands reunite and play on a Sunday night where I went to work the next day.
Yes,
and everybody else took the day off because they're weak. That's right. Man, it's a Blink-182 concert, man. I mean, just getting to relive that night, doing that podcast in the studio with the Emperor and Lil J and you, like, oh man, just reminiscing on a childhood dream come true to get to see one of my favorite bands play live.
Wardrobe changes. How many times you change your shirt?
Oh my gosh. I don't remember how, at least 3 times.
Yeah. At least.
Oh man, I'm still thinking about going back down in August when they're in
Indianapolis. Yeah. Are they at Gamebridge or are they at Lucas Oil?
Gamebridge. I don't know. I'm still thinking about looking at obstructed tickets.
Why not?
So we'll see. We'll see when the time comes. But man, here's one of my favorite moments from that episode.
Jordan, do you want to elaborate on the ticket buying process?
Oh man, yeah, that's a story. Yeah, I've bought plenty of concert tickets or like Colts tickets or anything like that. Just events, and this is the first time that I've ever had this happen, and it was probably one of the worst ticket buying experiences. So it was Colt and I mean, again, this is in my mind, it's once in a lifetime. This reunion tour, we're gonna do this no matter what. Like, let's get after it. So
I had everything set up in my basement. I still remember it. Colton, I think you were running late. He bad out of hell, just running, sprinting down my stairs.
Get my laptop like open as I'm going down the stairs with food in my hand.
So he's trying to get in his queue on his phone and then on his laptop, and things are not working. Like, I don't know, the Wi-Fi was messed up. He was very flustered.
I was at another anger level.
Like, listen, buddy, it's okay. I had it up on my computer. We were good to go.
Like Fortnite days.
Yeah.
Like, it was very stressful situation. High stakes. I could just feel it. So like we get in the queue. We had to wait a long time. Like, it was terrible. So anyway, we get there. Okay, we're in. We're looking at our seats. We're like, okay, we kind of have a good price range in mind. And okay, we get the 4 tickets. This is great. This is gonna be an awesome experience. So we go put them in our cart, and then for whatever reason, we go to purchase it. There was like some codes that came up, or like I had to validate like with my credit card or something, but it was linked to my wife's account, so I went to her phone, and so she's upstairs. So then I'm like, oh no, I'm sprinting upstairs, like she's in the middle.
Now, get her phone.
She might have been in like a meeting or something. I'm like, I'm just gonna get it, and so then she writes down the code, and like we get it, and then it's just anyway, we get it logged in, back in, good to go, hit submit, and then sorry about your luck. It said there's an error, tickets are gone. And we're just sitting there like
yoinked from
the cart.
And I was like, no, you can't be serious. Like, because I actually think I showed you, Jeremy. I don't know if I told you, Gunner, but I showed you because there was this bar on the upper deck, and there were the seats right behind the bar.
Yeah.
And that was the spots. I was like, dude, that's where we almost sat.
It's significantly cheaper too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say significantly.
Well,
because we got. Remember? I mean, I don't.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Okay, so. We get, we're through the sad stages of this process now.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, we got to get these tickets. Okay. And Jordan and I had a price point that we were okay with spending.
Yeah.
And I know you two were kind of like, whatever you guys are okay with, kind of. I don't remember you saying don't go over a certain number, but I also didn't want to have you guys pay like $600 for tickets.
Yeah, that might hurt a little bit.
Yeah. So with that in mind, because I think we actually I told you the price of those upper deck tickets, and you guys are like, yeah, perfect, good. Well, I don't know. Did we tell you they got yoinked? I didn't think we told you they got yoinked.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're learning this, along with our fellow podcast listeners out here live.
We were livid.
We were pissed. So we're like, okay, let's calm down. Let's, this is because I was thinking I told them this number. This is the number I need to find tickets for. Okay? So we're looking, and all of a sudden, it's like Ticketmaster didn't release all the seats at once. It's like they just did, like, popcorn here and there. And then all of a sudden, I find our tickets, the one we sat in. And they were like, $30 more?
Yeah, something like that.
They were like $30 more for that. And I'm like, dude, Jordan, do you want to eat that 30? Like, do you want to eat that 60? And we're like, to get those tickets? And we're like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I don't care. Just give me some tickets. Yeah. Like, let's go.
So we get these, we bought them, we paid for it. We still told you the original price.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we paid a little bit extra for those tickets.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was the ticket buying story. Doesn't matter. It's done with. It's over with. They're paid. They've been paid for.
Yep. And what was cool, I think Mark was the one that tweeted about it. He actually tried to buy tickets himself, and he had the same thing happen to him. And he was like, sorry, guys, like, this is kind of messed up. Like, this is kind of wild.
It is, yeah.
To where he got, like, tickets stolen out of his cart. So at least I wasn't the only one.
Yeah, that's true.
Very stressful. It was good.
I can only imagine that room in that amount of time of what was going on.
Imagine him worked up like that.
Yeah,
you can see it.
Pit sweat. He was probably like,
oh man,
it was face red.
It was a sight.
Red as his hair.
Yeah.
I don't care what you guys say, but we got really good seats for that.
We did.
We got really good seats.
We did.
So
we recovered.
You guys can say what you want to say. That's fine. That's fine
man.
and dandy. I'm okay with that. I can accept that. But let me tell you, I worked hard for those dang seats.
I had to show Colton on my phone. It's like, they're there. They're in my Ticketmaster. You can see them. Like we got them.
I swear for like 2 days, I'm like, did you get an email from Ticketmaster saying you got those tickets? Like,
I got them, buddy. They're right
here. I swear
here.
if we got to go through this thing again, like, this is a face-to-face meeting, not an over-the-phone or email type of meeting.
Trying to Ticketmaster.
Like the crazy part was, I think Colton, you were looking at Saturday. Because there were 2 shows, so and I was looking at Sunday, and the Saturday prices were so much higher.
I mean, I think because I checked it out, it was like another like $175, I think, per ticket
Really?
for our
Yeah,
seats.
crazy.
Wow.
And I was like, and that's why we chose Sunday, because just for pricing.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the Sunday show. I thought, we had Sora's 3rd birthday party. We went to that, and then we come back home and met up with you guys here at the complex. But having Monday off was amazing.
Yeah, Monday off was great.
It was so nice.
Yeah, wasn't
Oh,
it?
man.
Yeah.
It was
Let me tell you
relaxing. I got a lot
about
of stuff
those
done.
people.
That was a great day.
Let me tell you about some of those people. Some of us are just a little bit tougher than others.
Or a
some of
glutton
us
for
go to-
punishment.
Yeah,
whichever you
yeah.
Yeah.
Dumb. I call it dumb.
I mean, I'll be honest. I went home Monday and I didn't go to bed till like midnight. I caught a second wind like right at 2, and I was like, I did not get tired. I'm like literally sitting on my couch watching TV thinking, how the heck am I not tired right now? Because I cannot go to sleep.
That was just a fun trip. It was like all around. Just a fun trip. And I know what you guys had to go through to get the tickets and all that, which is even more fun when you go back and think about it. But yeah, I think you're right. The experience with the 4 of us and being able to come back and just sit in the studio and talk about it, and really getting Jordan out and just kind of out of his shell talking about something that he loves also, and then getting him back for episode 100, which if we had an honorable mentions list, I would definitely have episode 100 on honorable mentions, because that was just a blast. But no, I think that's a really good number 1.
Man, so like I said, it's the memories that I'll have. It's just awesome. It was just a fantastic day. I don't think there's anything I would have changed. Except for I probably would have got more merch. That'd probably be about the only thing I would have changed. The only thing I would have changed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, just so glad I got to spend it with you guys. That's really what made that moment even more special.
Oh yeah, for sure. So Colton, let me ask you one question before I do some closer stuff here.
What you got, brother?
What's your least favorite episode of the year?
My least favorite episode of the year?
Yeah.
My least favorite episode of the year?
Yeah.
Yeah, anyone that has Hughes should not be named in it.
Oh geez.
Done.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 episodes. He was in.
Yeah. Put
That's a tenth. That's a tenth of the year. He was.
Put those in a hat, mix them up, pull one out. That's it. That's the worst one of the year.
I think all of those were actually really good episodes.
They probably were.
The dad cast, genre series action.
Yeah.
Episode 100, obviously. Tom Hanks.
I mean, he did introduce us to oh geez. That university.
Or Dartmouth.
Dartmouth, that's it.
Dartmouth.
Dang you, Dartmouth. Man, it's hard to pick one that I didn't really like.
Easy.
What is it?
It's White Castle.
Oh my gosh. That wasn't that bad.
It was so bad.
It wasn't that
So
bad. I
so
mean,
bad. It was the
I know why you're
idea.
picking it.
It was the idea.
And execution.
Yeah.
We thought we had something good. That's the problem.
Yep. I don't even want to talk about it. So frustrating. So frustrating to even think about it.
It happens, man.
The idea was there.
Hey, Taste of Philly was good, though.
Taste of Philly's great. Taste of Philly's awesome.
We should go back.
We should. All right. Let me do one last thing here.
All right,
and
brother.
that is, I just want to thank everybody that's been a part of the Call Guys this year. Anybody that's sent emails, anybody that's been on. I do have the list of everybody that was on. So, in order of episode, Arian.
Oh.
Where you at, girl?
Oh.
I'm kidding. I actually have seen her multiple times, and I always forget to ask, hey, do you still listen? I'm assuming she does. I'm thinking, sure, she still listens. Tony and Chris, Montana, the Emperor, Jordan, Frankie Vegas, Jake, ISO Cam, Guys with Issues, A Quarter Books and Booze. I want to thank them for taking over for 3 episodes.
Oh yeah.
Logan, Nick, Coach Rod, Lucas, Skywalker came on for Batman and Robin. That's it. Yeah.
Yes, thank you everybody who has been on, emailed, still listens to us banter about nonsense. Just thank you so much. I appreciate you guys listening. Like I said, we're trying to do some more fan stuff with some things that we got going on. We got the NCAA basketball tournament.
Yes, we need to
going.
get that work done.
Well, I'm working. I'll work on it as soon as I can work on it. It's just
Okay.
one of those things. It's a time sensitive thing. So when I get it going and I get it started, I'll definitely we'll spam it and get it going. So,
Which
just
really
let-
should be the start of year 3. We should be getting ready
it will
for that.
be. It should technically be like the start of when that bracket comes out.
Yeah.
So
We'll make sure we get that
like I
out
said,
to everybody.
the next 2 episodes, like this one and next one, we'll be talking about it, putting little ears in your, put little nuggets out there for you guys.
Nugs.
So yeah, like I said, winner gets a shirt from our website, from
the website, maybe a
from-
special shirt.
yeah. So yeah, we'll figure it out. But like I said, we're trying to do more for you guys who are still listening and with us for along this journey with us. Words
Nice.
are hard. So
Words are hard.
So yeah, man. Just thank you. Can't say it enough.
Exactly. But yeah, with all the guests, literally half of our episodes had a guest on it this year. So of what's released, 25 of the 50 episodes, not including this one, I had a guest. So, or multiple guests.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's exciting. Expect more guests next year. Hopefully some new guests.
Ooh. Could
Hopefully
be you.
It could be you, listeners. And you know how to get a hold of us. It's the callguyspodcast at gmail.com.
Oh my.
Colton, are you ready to get out of here?
Let's do it, brother.
All right. Everybody, thank you for listening to episode 103 of the Call Guys podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. You can also watch us on YouTube. Just search for the Call Guys podcast or click the link in the description for the podcast. You can go watch us on YouTube. You can also find us on all your favorite social media accounts. Facebook at facebook.com/thecallguyspod, Instagram at thecallguys, and TikTok at thecallguyspodcast. And like I said a couple of seconds ago, you can send us an email, thecallguyspodcast at gmail.com, if you want to send us recommendations for the question of the pod, future episodes. What do you want to hear from us in year 3? Do you want to come on? You want to send us a voicemail? You can do any of that. Just send us an email. Callguyspodcast at gmail.com. We've mentioned Jake multiple times in this episode, but I really do want to thank him and Perfectly Picked Games for the spot that is on every single one of these episodes you listen to now at the beginning. Starting in year 3, Colton and I can kind of have some ideas for taking some breaks in the middle and giving us some, in the middle of record time, we can use the restroom or do whatever instead of having to get up or hold it the entire time. That's kind of my thought process behind it. But yeah, putting Perfectly Picked Games kind of in the middle of episodes and seeing how that works out for a while. So yeah, Perfectly Picked Games. Jake, thank you for supporting us and, even coming on the pod and hanging out with us. So, and then you can go check out Golden Mojo ENT to find all the other podcasts in the Golden Mojo Entertainment Network of podcasts, whether that be the Golden 80s, United States Paranormal, the Indiana Chiefs fans, Murdnerds, Quarter Books and Booze, any of those podcasts, go check them out. Anything else, Golden?
Man, I love you, brother.
Love you, brother. I feel like I've seen you a lot.
It's because you have.
Because I stopped in at your work like literally every day this week.
Oh man.
Okay, maybe not all this week. Like last week I stopped a couple times, and this week I stopped a couple times.
Hey, if anybody needs a hookup on a water softener, let Gunner know. He can install them.
Yep. And hey, make sure, springtime's coming. You probably haven't changed your filter. So make sure you get out there and change your filter.
ACs are starting. Hey, Lucas, you're welcome.
fixed his furnace on the way home tonight.
Oh dang! Oh dang! Look at that, Colton coming in.
Oh my!
Colton coming in hot for all his friends. All right, for all those out there in podcast land, we'll see you next week for episode 104, and then the start of year 3.
Oh my!
Thank you all for listening. See you next time.
Later. Bye. See ya. Deuces.
The Call Guy.